I think it's my turn. It's my turn, Phil.
It's your turn.
It's the Don Miller Show. Thursday night, y'all know me. For those of you who have been following me for the last 20 years, everywhere I go, thank you so much for following us. Our friends in the Panhandle, beautiful Panhandle, Florida, Destin, Fort Walton Beach, all the way up there by Bonifay in the cut. Thank you. Our friends in beautiful Ocala. And of course, all of those regions that have been following this show for many years, we thank you so much. Atlanta, Cincinnati, you name it. Thank you. It's Thursday night, the final podcast before the worst election in the history of elections.
You scared?
Many Americans, and I'm telling y'all this, even the people who like Donald Trump don't like Donald Trump. People are fed up with a system that has been broken for a long-ass time. And I just want people to listen to me. Even people who don't like Donald Trump, they like Donald Trump. If you're going to hire somebody or retain someone to fix a broken system that is plagued with all kind of ridiculousness, okay, and corruption. You don't want to go get the Christian guy. You don't want to go get Uncle Roydale from the deacon board. You're going to go get a guy who got his own paper and ready to slay. And I think this is a crisis for a lot of people who've been running game on the other people. I think Donald Trump presents a threat to a lot of people that have been running game. Shout out to the podcast, Dr. My man Phil, man. Hey, Phil.
What up?
I ain't seen the Democrats this afraid since Abraham Lincoln took away their slaves, man. They frightened because they know that this dude gives no Fs. You've never had a guy. Shout out to the lady who asked me the other day, sitting at the bar, drinking some wine. She said, have you ever interviewed a president? Never in my life have I interviewed a sitting president. But I interviewed two of them bastards when they left, when they could be open. I don't want to interview a guy who's in the White House because he's going to tell you some bullshit. But when they leave that biatch, you get the truth. So yes, I have sat and talked to two former presidents, both of which I enjoy immensely. One is a Democrat, one's a Republican, but sitting there talking to them post-White House, you don't even know what they are. The game is to be sold and not told. So thank you so much for joining me, y'all. Let me just say something to you guys in real life, right? I'm serious about this, okay? We are losing, black folk, I'm telling black folk this, we losing because of us. Ain't nobody put us in a jam or made us lose. We are losing because of us. The things that the black community accepts from their politicians, no other community accepts it. You ain't gonna pee in my face and tell me it's raining. But you can do that to a Negro if you, especially are a Negro. See, 15, 20 years ago, 4 cycles ago, a white guy running for president on the Democratic ticket tell us some bull, we gonna be like, yeah, that's some bull. And that's why they realized the NAN program was back in effect. Need a Negro. And guess what? We have fallen for it hook, line, and sinker. A black person could tell us something, and we know it's not legitimate. But we gotta vote black. We gotta vote black because some goofball in Birmingham, Alabama, got a national morning show who barely could put a sentence together, but he can make a Negro laugh. The Negro been laughing too long, guys. It's no longer something that I get excited about.
You two don't like you, Don.
Why, what happened?
It said your video was made for kids.
Okay. Well, can you change that?
I did. So
Okay.
if you're watching on YouTube, try to comment because I didn't do that.
God,
I didn't do that.
They don't like me, but they done put me off before.
You know why they do that, right?
Yeah.
Because you can't comment.
Okay. They done put me off before, guys.
But people are here.
I thank you so much for all. Chantel Graves, thank you. Listen, at what point, black folk, shout out to Pat, Gary Carroll, my brother in beautiful Indianapolis, Indiana. Man, I love that white boy. He about as sideways Caucasian as you will ever get. But I love him, and if I call him at 3 o'clock in the morning, he gonna answer the phone, man. I'm telling you right now, people need to understand, we gotta look. There's one culprit. The culprit is the system. And if we know that the culprit is the system, guys, stay with me, then we should be supporting whoever has the balls to take on the culprit. The culprit is the system. It ain't the Republicans or the Democrats that's got people about it. It's the system. So we should be cheering all we need is one person really want to be the president that we all support, and we change the system. We don't need two people, one person lying on this side, the other person lying on that side. We need to focus on somebody that's going to address the issues of the everyday working American. And I want to speak directly to the black people. If they have not said the words foundational black American or anything along the lines as they engage in this reparation conversation, you shouldn't want to hear that either. Because everybody don't get something. My point is, how do we win? Thank you so much, everybody. Let me just say something. I've been watching the media. We got a guest we're going to pop on real quick. I had to get this out of my system.
Hold on, before you start, if you're watching on YouTube, refresh the YouTube video.
Yeah, refresh the video because they still got me out there talking to children.
You can leave comments. You can.
People be like, Don Miller, I tried to comment on your... And I'm like, no, they had me listed as a child. You know, there's a lot of games out there, man. Let me tell you something about the truth, man. The truth is like medication. It might make you sicker, boy, before it make you better. You ever took some medication, you be like, damn, why did I take that? I feel worse. And as my grandma say, directly after that, you feel better. The truth is like medication, man. It might punch you in the gut for a few minutes. But if you adhere and embrace, it's going to make you better, guys. That's all I'm saying. Watch this, guys. The media. And I read a lot, and I pay attention to a lot of things, and I read across the board. Don't just read one. Don't just go to one place and get your information, please, guys. And I want to tell black people, do not even get your information from blacks that's on TV. You are not going to get good information from no black person on TV because you got to go underground and go read and engage. There's some people on social media, a lot of people on social media, but most of the blacks on TV has been committed to a conversation. Either they want to or not. So please just go do some research and think about this, right? I came across something the other day. Our guest today is a good friend of mine. We don't agree on a damn thing. We don't even agree on what we gonna drink when I see him, because he probably don't drink. We don't agree on anything, but I do respect him. He can articulate his point. He's a good dude. He is my good friend, Johnny E. Johnny!
What's going on? What's going on? How you doing, my brother?
Johnny is a Democrat. He's a first generation, right? Are you first generation or second generation?
No,
from Haiti.
Second.
Okay, second generation. Family from Haiti. Beautiful Haiti. I love Haiti. Everybody knows that. Johnny, you know that. So Johnny's joining us, and I just want to kind of get into this. Johnny, I want to talk to you. So I read a piece the other day, then I checked this piece and double-checked this piece, then I called somebody about this piece. Network coverage of Donald Trump has been 85% negative, and network coverage of Vice President Harris has been 78% positive. Is the mainstream media in trouble? And what happens to the mainstream media next week when Donald Trump's the victor? Do we trust him? Because how can one candidate be 78%, be 85% negative? And I know it to be true because I watch all the channels. Yet the other person is 78% positive, and none of us know what the hell she's talking about most of the time. Can you explain that?
Well, listen, I can explain it. Me personally, I have my issue with the media because there's some coverage, especially when we're talking about Haiti, that I would like them to cover. They don't cover. And you mentioned earlier about where do you take your news, your message, where it's coming from is important. I don't try to listen to the media 100% of the time. And the other aspect a lot of people need to do, it's okay to trust, but you also have to verify. Just because somebody come to your screen and tell you something, you have a responsibility to check. You have a responsibility to verify for yourself.
Okay,
Because
and so
at the end of the day,
and you're right. So I think, but a lot of people are getting their information from sources who, quite frankly, outside of one box, have no credibility. Like the comedians that they have on. Tell me the really smart black guy with a morning radio show in a major market. There is none. They're all comedians. And they're all
yes,
comedians for a reason. Because the Negro wants to giggle. The Negro is emotional, not informational. So we got to stop pointing at everybody. Why isn't there a good black talk show host outside of the old man who just died, the great, whatever his name was, the Eagle, okay, Madison, because he was left of left. He was so far left, he'd come around the other side. It wasn't a good conversation, right? My point is this. Joining us here on the show, she has been with me for almost 15 years. You know her. Many of y'all, everybody know her. Everybody listening to the show knows. D'Amica Pay, bring your ass on in the room. There she is, y'all.
Hey guys, how
That's
you
D'Amica
doing?
damn Page right there, man. That's I know G off and them dudes over there like, yeah, that's right. There she is. D'Amica, this is Johnny. Johnny is a
Hey,
co-host.
nice
Johnny.
to meet you.
He's a co-host with Void over there. So you know
Over
Void,
there?
correct? Yeah, he over there with
Yeah.
Void on WOKB radio in
That's
Orlando,
correct.
100.7 FM. So yeah, a bunch of Haitians sitting around, eating
Right.
Haitian food, rubbing people the wrong way. You know what I mean? So, but again, thank you so much, D'Amica. Look at the media today. Tell me what you see.
I see journalism is definitely dead. In case you had any doubts in your mind, there's a tombstone on journalism. It is dead.
It is
Yeah,
gone.
those bones are not coming up. That's what that is.
It's just
And
amazing.
it's very unfortunate.
Yeah. It's amazing because every now and then, hope springs eternal, right? The other day when Anderson Cooper, gay-ass Anderson Cooper, was interviewing the vice president, and he rose up at her, and I was like, damn, Andy. Andy rose up at her like, no, you're not going to come in here with that. Did you see it feel? Andy was like, no, you're not going to come in here with that. I was like, man, Andy, I love you. Anderson Cooper, gay
At a
man
moment.
in America, rich as cream now. Y'all gotta understand. Anderson Cooper ain't worried about no money from CNN. He just like doing that. Like, I like coming over here, but I need the dollar. The point is, Anderson Cooper, rich ass Anderson Cooper, Gloria Vanderbilt's baby boy, rose up at Vice President Harris, and it threw me off. Phil, see if you can grab one of them clips, man.
If it's CNN, I can't.
Oh, yeah, you're right, man. It threw me off so bad, man. I was like, damn, Anderson pretty much like, you're not going to come on here and lie to me. And he rose up at her. And now they tried to call him a anti-black. And, they can't. He's got clearance, right? He's got clearance. He's in a protected class. He's gay. Huh? He's gay and he's rich. Just like if he was gay and he's black. That's a protected class. So they couldn't rise up on Anderson. So shout out to Anderson Cooper, who standing up for a lie, standing up against a lie. Thank you so much. But D'Amica, so you say the media is dead, D'Amica.
Absolutely.
Tell me, give me an example that you've seen.
It's just the fact that no one is willing to hold the same standard regardless of what party that they're referring to. There's a different standard that they're holding for Donald Trump or the Republican Party or conservative views, and then the Democratic Party and liberal views. They don't have the same standard. And that whole notion that the media and press should have been the fourth branch of government in order for us to have a healthy democracy, that whole concept and idea is gone.
Yes,
and because of the hypocrisy that we're seeing in our media right now, and it's very unfortunate. And you can see that we're not healthy. You can see that we don't have healthy
We're not well.
democracy.
We're not well right now. Void, not Void, Johnny. Johnny, let me ask you a question. You're much smarter than Void. I like Void. I'm kidding. Void's listening.
Oh my God.
I like Void. Void's my buddy.
He's about to call you.
I know he's gonna call in. You know, and I know. But when I look at this, right, I want to present this question to the audience. Put the phone number up. I'm gonna take some calls. This question right here, guys, gonna make everybody listening to this show Say, And if you don't say, then shame on you and you're a liar to yourself. If Joe Biden was running as a Republican, stay with me. If Vice President Harris was running as a Republican, what would black people in the media call them? We would call him racist for show, right? His history. His history would be important if he was running as a Republican. So we sure would call him racist. All the 30 pieces of legislation, all the nonsense. He's gotten away with more racial side-eyed. You can pull it up, Phil. Go Google Joe Biden racial curveball. Joe Biden got away with saying more racial stuff than any president in the history of this country. Yes or no? Yes or no, D'Amica?
Yes.
Yes or no, Johnny? Johnny?
Absolutely.
Johnny?
No. He said a lot of foul stuff.
But guess why he ain't never got canceled? You know why he never got canceled? Because he was a Democrat.
No, Trump haven't get canceled either.
Okay, no. You can't compare. See, you're young. You can't compare Joe Biden's history to a non-political governmental paid guy. Joe Biden's history. Joe Biden ain't never had a job except the United States government. Stay with me.
I'm not comparing.
Okay. No. Well, that's why you can't pull Trump. But y'all pull Trump into it every time y'all ain't got a real answer. Y'all go Trump. So let me finish this. Joe Biden's salary for the last 50 years have been paid by who?
He's a civil servant.
Has been paid by who?
The people.
By the taxpayers of America. 50 years, y'all done, right? Y'all done paid this cat for 50 years. So somebody who been on the breast, I almost said the T.I. word, the breast for 50 years, right, should at least have such a personal relationship with the environment that all he has come from. Stay with me. I got this. It's been on my mind for 3 days. Joe Biden's been on the breast for almost 50 years. He has been blessed by the American citizen. Yes or no? Mm-hmm. American people, right? So after 50 years of everything, your health insurance, your children's health insurance, everything, traveling the world on the dime of the American people. This is Joe Biden. Stay with me. You would think, and I'm seeing this, that he would at the end of his life start to understand that he may not have been right to the American people. Stay with me. Watch this. I am convinced, guys, that Joe Biden, what he said the other day, and I want you to play this clip, was not a snafu. I think Joe is slipping, guys, but I don't think he's to the point where he would say certain things. Joe Biden, in this cut, could have really messed up the chances of Vice President Harris. And my question to y'all is, did he really mean to do this? Listen to this clip.
Stuck cleaning up comments President Biden made on a live stream to supporters.
Or Puerto Rico, where I'm in my home state of Delaware, they're good, decent, honorable people. The only garbage I see floating out there is his supporters. His demonization of seen as unconscionable.
Okay, stop it right there, guys. Watch. Let me say something.
Hold on.
Who, in a real neck and neck, recognizing what's at stake, calls a couple of 100 million Americans garbage? Everybody ain't voting yet. See, this is the trick, right? And Joe Biden, I don't know if he's with the Harris regime, D'Amica. What are your thoughts? He's made too many mistakes. That
he's not with his regime.
Why is he still
talking about?
Let me just say something. Why is he still talking? Why are they allowing? Because they can't stop him. Because if they could stop him, I think they would have said, "Thank you so much, Mr. President. Just go do whatever you're doing. We'll take it from here."
How does he know how to use Zoom though?
Dude, listen to me. Listen to me.
Come on, y'all.
You don't think he still got AIDS standing everywhere he go?
Dude, that video wasn't even real.
That
video
Stuck
was AI.
cleaning up
Dude,
comments.
no. Can I tell you something? No. If that was AI, wait. If that was AI, the White House wouldn't apologize for it. Okay. The point I make is this: he did that while she was outside the White House having an event.
We got a call.
Let's go to phone lines. Hey, you're on the Don Miller Show.
Hey, Mr. Don, this is Pap from Florilla.
Hey,
How
Pap,
you been lately?
Florilla, Alabama. How you doing?
Well, I'm hanging in there like a loose tooth, brother. I'm about ready to fall out.
Okay, just
Yeah.
take your time. We got a few more days.
Oh, well, yeah, I tell you, I just enjoy watching these fools get up there on the podium and talk and let their alligator mouth overload their canary ass. They are terrible.
Thank you so much, man. That's Pap from Florilla. Hey, thank you to Pap. Johnny. Why is he still talking?
Well, listen, the man is the president of the United States. He's entitled to come and talk to the American people. It's unfortunate, those words that he used. And as you can see, that the Vice President Harris came and said does not support those words. It does not support his opinion, what he said. It's uncalled for. And she's going to represent all of the American people. And this is what we're expecting for our leaders. For
Okay, let me just say this. So
you say something was
so you
not
believe
appropriate.
that? You believe that? You think she mad at him? This is me and you talking. Ain't nobody else here but us. You think she mad at him?
No, it's not that. I mean, we can be honest with each other. Listen, I don't work for no campaign.
But do you think she mad at Joe?
Anybody in that situation would be mad.
Okay, yeah. You think but why can't they stop him? Because he gonna come back home before the election, say something else.
No. Listen, I believe the president had a good intention. He wanted to talk about the situation with the comedian in the Trump rally. That's what he wanted to talk about, and he get carried away. And the White House apologized. The vice president said he does not support this argument, and we're taking it from there.
Okay, so the
And
vice
that's what
president.
leadership is about.
Let's get to the vice president. D'Amica, I know you want to ask some questions. I'm looking at the vice president in her strong pivot, Johnny, to the black community. And just tonight I found out that Bill Clinton is coming to Florida. Hillary's going to Tampa. And the Negro is waking up. I really believe this, D'Amica. Okay, we've been looking at the numbers, Phil. We've seen these numbers. Black people are like, you know what? I cannot tell you how many black people that I've talked to just say they ain't going to go vote. So the no vote is a vote. It may not be, I don't know who it's for, but I can tell you there's no such thing as a bad vote.
Well,
The only bad vote is an unprincipled vote. And anybody who makes a decision that they want to use it or not, that's on them. But I'm saying, stay with me, sir. I'm saying this. Why are they coming to see black people with 22 minutes left? Johnny?
You know why they come to see
Johnny?
you.
Listen, let me tell you.
They ain't been here
My
all year,
opinion.
Johnny. I can tell you that. Ain't nobody been here all year.
Let me tell you my opinion.
Yeah.
Too many lost their lives, sacrificed so much for us to have the right to vote. And that's why I don't agree on the no vote. Just like you said, the no vote is still a vote. Okay, it just happened to be a vote was not gonna be in your advantage either way because you choose not to cast your ballot. Now, good question is why are they coming to us so late? I think us as black people, we have a responsibility. We have a responsibility and stop asking for people to come to us and start playing a role. We have the capability to be candidate as well, to support one another, to say, oh, this is who I want to represent me, and this is what my values are about. But what do? We wait, and we're waiting for either party to approach us, to tell us how they're going to do for us and how they're going to do it. But are we asking the hard questions?
Okay, now guess
No
what?
matter if you're
Stay with me.
Republican or
Hold on.
Democrat, you
Stop
have to
right
ask
there.
the hard questions.
That what you just said was brilliant. You just hit me in the head. That was ooh-wee. Then why you a Democrat with that mindset? That's the mindset. That ain't the no. Listen to me. I got a question for you.
I'm gonna
No.
tell you.
Why you thinking like that and you over there? Why you over there? Just tell me. Be honest.
Well, true. A lot of people when they talk to me, they say, "No, you sound like more like as an independent."
No, whatever.
Listen, I do believe there's a lot of Democrat with common sense, and there's a lot of Republican with common sense.
Okay.
I do believe that we should not just be identified by Democrat or Republican, but rather as American.
Okay,
The
stop.
value-
What you're saying is good, but let me just say this. You say common sense. Common sense really ain't common. Anybody ever said that to you?
Of course, man. I'm
Okay, now watch
military.
this.
I know
Okay,
common
watch
sense
this.
is not coming.
So you of Haitian descent. Do you remember or do you know the name Tony Rodham?
You talking about Clinton brother?
Yeah. Do you remember what Tony Rodham did in your country?
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what Hillary Clinton did in your country?
Listen,
I'm just saying yes or no. No. Yes or no.
Yes.
So why would you
talking about-
align yourself with a party that many of your countrymen have significant disdain for, but because a guy by the name of Tony Rodham was put over a gigantic mineral reserve in your country, not a Haitian gentleman with an education from MIT or a Haitian gentleman with an education from Stanford, but a white dude who had no history working in this field, Hillary's brother. Is that correct?
And I'm gonna tell you,
Is that
yes,
correct?
you're right. Yes, you're right. Let me tell you this.
I'll wait.
It doesn't matter if it's a Democrat or Republican. What's going on?
Yes.
In Haiti. Listen, what's going on in Haiti has been happening under Republican government. Has been happening under Democratic government.
Okay.
So
I
the
hear what you
problem
said.
It is the responsibility of the Haitian people to take the destiny.
How
by hand.
dare you as a Haitian say that?
No,
Let
no.
me just
listen.
say this. Stay with me, man. Stay with me. Your
no,
country has been pillaged
My country
by
has been
internal
pillaged
and
by
external.
the-
Internal and external. Yes or no?
Internal and external.
Yes.
External because my countrymen need to take responsibility and not allow the external to play a role on the affair.
But how do they do that?
What you mean? How do they do that?
Okay.
Fight back.
You mean rise
They
up without
know.
rise up without weapons? You know who
It's not
has the
about
weapons in
rising
your
up.
country?
Listen, it's not about rising up. It's about being able to stand on your principle and say no. The bucks have to stop somewhere. If
Okay, where do you go? How
continue
far
to
do you
say
go
yes-
back on this stand on the principle conversation? Do you go back to baby doc, to papa doc? Where you stop? Because your country was sold out by your countrymen. Yes or no?
Yeah, it's
Okay.
not about where you start. It's where you start.
Okay.
We haven't started.
Okay.
That's
But
the
let me just say
problem.
this. So
We
my
haven't
point,
started.
let me get back to my point. D'Amica, I want you to take it from here because I don't think Johnny understands my point. You are aligned in a country with a party who a family placed a non-professional in your country to run something that your countrymen owned and belonged to them. And you think that's okay. You shift to that party. Why? I'm just kind of curious.
I don't.
Do you
shift to
think that was
part. It
wrong?
doesn't
How about
matter. I
that?
could-
Do you
I
think
could
that
say-
was wrong?
It will be the same.
Was it
situation.
wrong?
Why? Who was wrong?
Was it wrong to put Tony Rodham in charge of your mineral rights?
I think Haitians should be in charge of the mineral rights.
Okay.
You're right.
So was it wrong?
So
Was it
no,
wrong
is
that the
wrong.
Clintons did this to a guy who didn't go to Stanford, MIT, Virginia Tech, or any of these schools that have programs in this? Was the Clintons wrong for sticking that dude who had a history of just bouncing from job to job in Haiti and putting him
It's
in
not
charge? Yes or
It's
no?
it's not only the Clinton. It is wrong, but it's not only the Clinton. Okay,
Ah,
it is wrong, and it's not only the Clinton. Now, let me tell you this. It would be the same way if I was a Republican, like my brother Voy, who's a Republican.
Mm-hmm.
He got the right to be Republican, regardless what Donald Trump say about,
What did the
Haitian
Republicans
eating dogs.
do to Haiti?
Okay.
Point to me the Republican that
talking
sent
about?
operatives. In.
Okay.
Wait, stay with me.
You remember?
That
remember
sent
when
Hold
Aristide
lived in
was-
Boca Raton. He didn't even live with y'all.
No.
Let me just say
No,
this.
no.
Stay with
What
me.
you talking about?
Stay with me.
Aristide doesn't live in Boca Raton.
But
You're talking about Mateli.
I know all of them. Let me just say this. I've been there a bunch of times. Listen to what I'm saying to you. My question to you is, you are aligned with a party. The Republicans never went to Haiti and just pillaged the Haitian people. Those other people did, man. And put a guy who worked at a bar in charge of your mineral reserves, and you want to join that party. That's all I'm saying.
It doesn't matter what party. Okay. Do you know the first Aristide, the coup d'etat for the first Aristide?
Yeah.
The man was elected about 80-something%.
I know the whole story.
Population love it.
Yeah.
It was a Republican president who was in power.
Yeah,
it
who
was
was
the
it?
Bush in power.
Okay, but again, you got to listen.
Okay. Do you know how many people lose their life doing that? A lot.
Again, but your country is
so
gone
my
now.
thing-
Your country is
no.
gone, young man.
No, that country.
You
is not
don't.
gone.
Okay, your country is ran by warlords. Right now, tell me another country in this region that's ran by warlords. There
And
is
this is
none.
what it is.
There is none. Stay
There
with
is
me.
none. But
Wait,
the
wait,
fact
but
is,
what?
you
Dominica,
making it no. You making it like it's only the Democrat when the
okay,
reality
but you
is
listen
it
to
doesn't
me.
matter if it's the Democrat or
Okay, fine,
Republican.
fine.
They
Watch this.
all play a
Your
role.
country is in crisis. Stay with me. Under the regime of a black lady and a long-term Democrat. The black lady at least should be like, oh, we got to do something to help Haiti. They're run by warlords. They don't even have a government in place. Dominica, tell me your thoughts on this.
I think it's interesting that when you ask people why they support or align themselves with a particular party and their policies and how those policies have impacted their community, I think it's interesting that people pivot very quickly. It's almost, I really believe that the reason why our community will not excel is because we refuse to hold anybody accountable without trying to pivot to something else. If we're talking about the Harris administration, if we're talking about the Clinton administration, whatever administration we're talking about, I think that it would be beneficial to us as a community to have the courage to hold them accountable. Whoever is in office, if we don't have the courage to hold them accountable for what they're doing and how their policies currently are impacting our communities, we will never rise. We'll always be looking, we'll always be pivoting over here or over there, or we have an excuse for this or that. We have to have courage to hold people accountable. If it's not about party, okay, then let's hold whoever is in office and accountable. But we don't do that. We don't do that. If they have our skin color, we don't hold them accountable. If they have a D in front of their name, we don't hold them accountable. So we will never rise because we don't want to hold people accountable for the policies that's impacting our community. And it doesn't matter who you talk to. It can be a person from Haiti. It can be another person. We seem to not want to hold them accountable. So we will never rise. That's my conclusion of the conversation that you guys are having.
Okay, go ahead, Joe, real quick so we can turn the corner.
Okay. No, I agree with you. We have to hold people accountable. There is an honest conversation the Haitian community need to have with the Democratic Party. A very
Why they
honest.
got to have it with the Democrat Party? Why they can't have it with both parties?
Oh, they're gonna have it with both parties. But I'm talking about who's in power. You're mentioning who's in power right now.
Right.
Democrat is in power. So there is the honest conversations we need to have. Those who call themselves the leaders who representing us, they need to have that kind of conversation. And matter of fact, if they cannot do that, then they need to step aside for those of us who have the courage to have that conversation, And that's for both parties.
But
Now,
again, my position on that is I don't think the Democrats would give the Haitian community the time of day. And the Haitian
I don't think the
community,
Republican either.
okay, and the Haitian,
Because,
okay, maybe
this is-
not,
this
but
is-
I'm
this
just
is what-
saying. I'm just
Done.
saying, but you don't think the Republican, but y'all ain't over there. I got
Done.
several of
Listen.
my good friends in the Haitian community. They are hardcore Democrats for this lady because they were Republicans before. And I'm trying to understand with my friends that I love, how did y'all go from Republican back over here when this is a ridiculous scenario? And your country is now gone. At least you had a government then.
Okay, done. We have to admit that the Haitian community living here, especially Haitian American people like me, need to have an honest conversation, not just with the Democrat, with the Republican as well.
Okay, good.
Okay, it doesn't matter who's in power. We have to have that talk. It doesn't matter if you're Republican or Democrat. At the end of the day, what is happening on our backyard right here in the U.S., 90 miles away from Miami, is unacceptable.
Okay.
It is unacceptable. No matter who come in power, it is still a conversation to have.
Let's talk about the election real quick, man.
Okay.
Dominica, so we got how many days, Phil? We got till Tuesday, right?
Tuesday, yeah.
And I am convinced that there are no more people whose mind ain't made up. Okay? If your mind ain't made up by now, I think maybe tomorrow morning at the latest, right? So whatever you gonna make your mind up, do it by tomorrow morning. I'm finding it quite interesting that the hard press is on in a couple of communities, while it's just kind of like why is Bill Clinton and Hillary coming to Florida to see the black people this weekend? Why? Because they ain't going in record number. Gone are the Corrine Browns. Okay? Gone are the Corrine Browns and the Alcee Hastings and the Carrie Meeks, and the black people could get these black people jumping. Gone are those people. So now they got to send the heavy hitters to Florida, only to talk to the Negro. They ain't going over there. I promise you, they ain't talking to white people right now. They ain't even talking to the rich Democrats. They need to talk to the Negro because the Negro has thrown in the towel. Why else? Look, I've been working these campaigns for years. D'Amica, you know this, right? Mm-hmm. Bill Clinton has never hit Florida 5 days out. And I'm telling you, never 5 days out. And now Bill and Hillary? Y'all, there's a crisis brewing, guys. So tell me this, Johnny. Then D'Amica, you can come up. Why do you think black people are moving out away from the party in record number?
I think black people is moving away from both parties. We're just sick and tired of
They
it.
were never with the Republican Party. What do you mean?
Right. Yeah, but he
Listen,
Black people
I think black people
committed to the
listen.
Democratic Party like 90%. So how can they be moving from both parties? Come
Thanks,
on,
Adley.
now.
90% they're
We
moving-
can't have an honest
Listen,
conversation
it
right
is an
here.
honest
We can't have
conversation.
an honest
I know.
He had to say both. He had to say both parties. He had to say both parties.
Let's be honest.
The
Come on
numbers
now.
don't justify saying making that
It's not
statement,
about
though.
numbers. We already know.
Yes,
the
it
majority.
is.
Listen,
Yes,
we already know.
African Americans have been committed to the Democratic Party like
You already
90%. 90%
Listen.
of African Americans are committed to the Democratic Party.
So
So
if
how can we be
90%
moving from both
listen.
parties?
If 90%, listen to this. If 90%,
That doesn't make sense.
listen, if 90% is committed to the Democratic Party, you will agree 10% is committed to the Republican Party.
No,
My goodness.
actually, no.
What's your
10% is
percentage?
not committed to the Republican
I'm
Party.
telling you.
What's the
Maybe-
percentage? What's
Huh?
the percentage? What's
Maybe
the percentage
4 or
is committed?
5.
Okay.
Okay?
And
Now that number
and the
has
4 or
risen.
5 listen.
That
and
number
the
has
4 or
risen.
5
It had not declined.
Okay. And the 4 or 5, I know Republican brothers and sisters.
Okay.
Who decided to move away from the Republican Party.
Okay, well,
So that's what I'm saying. That's both parties.
Actually, I don't know any of them. I know 100.
There's more.
I know 100 that has
African American and black
Johnny.
people.
I know 100. I know 100 black folk that left the Democrat Party. I know 100. They may not have all gone Republican, but they have shifted significantly. Okay, so that 4 or 5 people you know, they was never Republicans. They were trying to get some jobs. Okay, let's be clear.
I don't know what you want to call it.
Ain't
but
no
I'm
real
just
Republican. Ain't no black person who done took the ridicule from family and friends for being over there gonna come back. I swear to you.
Well,
If you black and you a Republican, stay with me, Johnny. The ridicule that you get from family and friends alone, you're not coming back. Because if you come back, you're a bitch. Okay, they scared you back. The ridicule that I've taken just from black folk I know. Coon, what the lady called me, a bootlicker. Okay? Why would I say, all right, I'm out? Dude, listen to me, sir. We are in a crisis in America. And if this cycle don't fix it, it's a wrap for us. I'm saying, when you say black people leaving the Republican Party, come back Democrat, I swear to you, they bullshitting you. Because now maybe if there was a real Democrat over here, maybe so. I could see that if they had a hard, like somebody, right? The young man out of Maryland, okay, Westmore, or even the senator from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. I'm saying ain't nobody rushing back over here.
And another reason why I don't believe that type of statement is because most of the time, if someone is affiliated with the Republican Party, it's because they have conservative values. They're not there because of party affiliation. They more than likely can articulate the values that they hold near and dear to them, and which pulls them into that direction. So the likelihood of someone saying, you know what, I'm throwing all my values out of the door and I'm going over here is highly unlikely. So if anything, you would probably see those people shift to independent. But it's highly unlikely that people who are that committed to their values that they would take the kind of ridicule that they get from family members and
Oof.
friends. Oh,
Oof.
I know exactly what it is. You can be in a room full of African Americans, and if you admit that you are affiliated with the Republican Party or you
Yeah.
have conservative values, I'm telling you, they're coming for you.
Okay, so
They're
let me
coming
ask
for you.
Johnny,
So
has anybody come for you like that?
Well, let me answer really quick. It's
Yeah.
unfortunate you guys have to go to this because I don't tolerate that. I don't care. I got friends who's Republican. I got family member who's Republican. But what I'm saying, I didn't say they moved from Republican Party and moved to the Democrat Party. I don't know where they moved to. But I know I got friends, I got people that I know was Republican and say, hey, they're no longer Republican.
Okay, okay.
May they stay independent, may they go to the Democratic Party. I don't know. I can tell you that. I don't know.
But
Okay,
it's
but
not
what
it's
I know
not a
for most
lot of
part,
those.
okay?
You were kind of
But I don't have
insinuated that there were a lot of people, and there's not. The numbers are
no.
yeah,
Well,
very
the
few.
numbers are not equal. Of course, it's not. We know the majority of African Americans, the majority of Black
but the point
people
of the
in
whole
general support the Democratic Party. We
Phil,
know
I
the
that,
sent you
po-
of
the
something.
course.
point the whole point of this conversation was that
Not yet.
a lot of African American people were leaving both parties, and most African American are affiliated with the Democratic Party. There's not the majority. The numbers are not there to support that kind of statement. That was
Well,
all I was saying.
Yeah,
I understand
and
where you're
then
coming from, but
I took it
based
too
on my
far as usual.
experience, there
I took
is Republican, African American, Black people who are
okay.
Republican who leave the Republican Party as well.
So
Okay,
let
it
me
might
just
not be
ask.
at the same numbers, but
So
they do too.
so let me just say this. So we're watching this play out. Let's talk about the polls out there. Phil, you get that?
No, I didn't get it yet.
Okay.
What do
Let's
you want to find?
hold on. I got you. Let's talk about the polls, right? Okay. I want to spend a few minutes on this because I'm watching these polls, guys, and I'm out here in these streets, okay? And I keep hearing people talking about the polls and neck, and I'm saying to myself, okay, I'm not all over the country, but I'm around enough, and I pay enough attention to see. And maybe I just live in a region where it's just certain people. When I hear these numbers, like neck in Michigan, right? And I know the population, and I'm looking at North Carolina, and I'm looking at Virginia, where based on what I've talked to people the last few days, the vice president had pulled all her people out of North Carolina because that's a wash and taking them over to Virginia where it's real tight. And I'm asking myself, I think you can't gauge this cycle. And I'll tell you
Just
why
like
you
they
can't.
couldn't gauge the last
The
one.
last cycle. This is why you can't gauge this cycle. You can never gauge a Donald Trump election cycle. And I said this a few years ago, D'Amica.
I got it now.
Okay? No, hold on 1 second. I said this a few years ago. You can't ever gauge a Donald Trump cycle by polls. Because let me tell you something. The way you treat people who support Donald Trump, most of them ain't gonna tell you they voting for him anyway. And I'm just being straight up with you. You're going to have that group of yay with hats and flags, but a whole lot of people don't even want to tell you because they don't want to have to deal with it. Tell me if I'm wrong, D'Amica.
No, I agree.
I know people who went to
Totally
vote
agree.
and they was outside doing an exit poll, and like it was the wife, the daughter, the grandmama, and the son, all four of them, and they all voted for Trump. And the people said, "Hey, can we have your exit poll?" And they just kept, they like, nobody. I'm telling you, people who vote for Trump ain't getting ready to tell you this. They want to blend in the community, stay, have a nice drink at the local bar. My black ass the only one that told everybody what I talk about every day. I just wish, you know what I mean? My black ass the only one. Hey, you know, I'm on the radio every day and I talk about this. Now everybody looking at me with the side eye. The point I make is, I just can't see it being neck and neck, D'Amica. What's your thoughts?
I agree with you. I don't think that anytime you have Donald Trump on a ticket, that it's pollable. And I agree for that very reason, because even though people like to lump everybody that support conservative values the same way, um, you know, they just kind of pull away from letting you know where they stand, because No one wants to be called a racist. No one wants to be called. They keep giving you all calling people names because they are supporting someone, not necessarily because they like him, the person, but because they're committed to conservative values. I'm someone who's committed to conservative values. It doesn't matter what Democrat you put on the ticket. It could be a black female, it can be a black male, it could be a green person. It really does not matter to me. There's nothing that Donald Trump can say that would make me dismiss the values for me voting a particular way.
Okay.
So because people don't want to argue with other people,
Thank
it makes it unpollable.
Hey, Johnny, tell me your thoughts. Are these polls, when they say neck and neck, are they really neck and neck?
Well, the polls wasn't accurate last election. I don't think they're gonna be accurate this election.
Okay.
Because the reason I said that we are so divided right now. We have households that are divided. We have friends who used to talk to each other who are divided. Okay.
You're right.
I mean, we get to the point now. We I don't care if you love Donald Trump. That's your business. I don't care if you want to vote for him. That's your business. Okay, because and I'm not gonna stop talking to you and stop being your friends. Okay, but like Tamika said, everything. I'm saying it wrong. Sorry, Danica. Like she said, hey, everybody have their own. Yeah, they have their own values and they're gonna vote for what they believe in, and that's the right that they have. Okay, and I respect that right. And I think it's unfortunate. And because of that, I think no matter how the poll is swinging, if you were in this election, don't count on the polls because
Right.
it's not going to be accurate because people are uncomfortable. They're not going to tell you who to vote for because there's fear.
Absolutely.
You
That's
have
good.
that fear. And I'm going to tell you a lot of people in my community
Right.
what kind of fear they have.
Right.
They have the fear. Matter of fact, they have the fear two ways, right? They have the fear, okay, if Donald Trump lost this election, it's gonna be trouble.
And I have the
Okay,
fear the other
and
way.
they
I have the fear if he
yeah,
wins, it's going to be trouble.
yeah, okay. So that's the no, that's the first fear they have. If you lose that election, they're gonna be in trouble, and they're very very afraid. And we have those type of conversation, okay, and a lot of them are very afraid. The
Okay.
other
Okay.
fear they have, if you win this election, they're going to be in trouble because they're thinking about okay, some people in the party is talking about denaturalization, they're talking about mass deportation, they're talking about birthright citizenship.
But
So
again,
those
stop it
are
real quick. Stop
honest
real quick.
fear
Stop real quick.
that they
'Cause
I'm just telling that's
no,
the real
no.
fear
But
that they
but
have.
again, if Haitians are saying this who've come here by the legitimate program that brought them here in the last several years, they can't put them out. So see that now this is that fear mongering, D'Amica, we talk about. There are Haitians who've come here recently that have legitimate papers. Johnny, you know what I'm talking about. That
Yeah,
they're
so
not going to
that's not
bother them. Okay, when he talk about
those are
mass,
not the ones who's in fear.
okay, I know. Well, the ones that are in fear who came here wrong
No,
and
those
have
are
been here long enough
they
to
are
get
legal.
right, huh?
No, they are legal. They
But you
came in
can't.
under either the humanitarian parole
That's
or
exactly
they currently have
right.
TPS, which is the temporary
Temporary protective status.
status.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. And some of them
But
are
why are
very
they
new to
afraid?
this
Why are
country
they afraid? Because they're
because they're
buying
very,
into the fear mongering.
Right.
Yeah, but let me just say, let's turn the corner real quick because we got to get out of here, man.
Because Obama was known for deporting people.
And especially Haitians. Go look.
he-
Okay.
Obama deported
He had
a
some of
lot
the
of people, more
highest
people.
numbers, huh?
Huh?
Yeah. More people than Trump.
Yes, absolutely. So
Absolutely.
let me just.
So why wouldn't
So
they
why
have
you
that
worried
same
now
fear?
that Trump said he gonna deport big numbers when your
Right.
boy
Because
deported big
because
numbers?
there was a
And
process. The people he was deporting, it was mainly like the people who got in trouble. Okay, may they have a
are they getting in
felony,
trouble
they
now?
got in trouble there.
Are they getting in trouble
No,
now?
of course they
It-
still got people
and they're
who get in
not getting
trouble.
deported. You realize that, right?
It's not the no. It's not the people who get in trouble who's in fear.
Oh.
The fear they're having is when they hear a party saying we're going to do
They're
mass
buying in the
deportation
propaganda,
and
and if they
calling
buy in the
no,
if
they're
they buy in the
listening, they're
propaganda,
hearing
that's
it.
on them. Let's
They're
real quick.
hearing it.
I need to turn the corner. D'Amica, before we get out of here, Johnny, before we get out of here, D'Amica, I got to talk to you as we wind down. 6 days to go. New president, either way, a new president in America. The outlook of America as we sit today is a very bleak scenario. Let's talk real quick. I want you to give me your 3 Trump policies If you can't come up with three, that the reason why you are 100% going to press that button for him. Go ahead. Three Trump quickly, because I want to hear Johnny.
So I'm not going to give you three, but this is what I'll give you. I do believe Donald Trump will be much stronger on turning the economy around. And the reason why I believe that is because I wholeheartedly agree that we need to produce more in the United States of America. When I started studying marketing, when I was still working on my master's or whatever program that was, but when I found out how much the United States import versus what we export, anybody who looks at those numbers know that that's a recipe for disaster.
Absolutely.
So the fact that he is very committed to producing more in America, I believe would be a really good turning point in terms of how our economy is. So I just believe he'll be much stronger on the economy. Number two, I just have some values that I'm committed to. Abortion is one of them. The fact that we have two genders, with men going into women's bathroom, men being allowed to participate in women's sports, the fact that the Democratic Party does not, they claim they cannot identify what a woman is. So these type of things that are coming from the Democratic Party, they are strictly
So
against
these are
my
things
values.
okay.
And
So
I
those are
will
your
not be participating in it.
okay. So those are your three. Go ahead and tell me the things that Kamala Harris is committed to, Johnny, that makes you really want to get to the polling place and vote for her.
Well, she didn't give you three, and I'm gonna be doing the same thing too.
Okay.
It's not about just policies. For me,
Okay. Oh.
when we're talking about interests, my interest alone is not the sole solution because I have a lot of members on my community.
Okay. What's your
like I told
interest?
you
Let's
earlier.
get to you. The time
Oh,
running
no,
down. What's your
I'm gonna
interest?
get to you.
Tell me real quick.
Mhm.
Go
My
tell me
interest,
your
I
interest.
want to, okay, I want my family to be somewhere where it's safe without worry about harm based on what they believe. I want uh I want my parents who are older to be able to have Medicare and Medicaid. Okay, I have some of them who are pushing age. I do not agree for the retirement age to go to 70 years old. Okay, all of those are by interest. Okay, now
Okay.
the other portion of
Wait
it,
a
my community who's full of people who came here who have papers here. Okay, technically they are legal for living here, and the fact that they are afraid and they don't know what the outcome is going to be. Okay, the fact that they're talking about birthright citizenship, they're talking about denaturalization. That cause
Okay.
for me to
That's the
pause
same
and say,
college you just mentioned. So Johnny's
Okay.
colleges. Go ahead, D'Amico. I know you want to come back.
Okay, I just got a question.
Phil, we might ride for a
Okay,
few
so
minutes. Go ahead.
Okay.
if someone's interest is in Medicare, the Democratic Party is trying to get rid of Medicare. So I don't like you're actually voting against your interest. That doesn't make any sense.
the
They're
Democratic
trying
Party
to
is
get
not
rid of Medicare.
trying to get with Medicare. Okay,
That's it's called Medicare.
when we're talking about healthcare, the Democratic Party has been more fair towards people with healthcare than the Republican Party.
I assure you, if you go read Medicare for All, anybody who is a senior in the United States of America will suffer like nobody's business. I'm in the Medicare industry, honey. So I already
Don't
know
call that
what the
man honey
seniors
now,
are dealing.
sir.
I know what the seniors are dealing with. So if we go to what the type of policy that they want to change Medicare into, they will suffer like nobody's business. People, seniors who have worked and earned their Medicare when they retire will not have the type of benefits that they have now if they go to what they call Medicare for All. So go read it.
Go ahead.
Oh, back to me.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, no, hey, I go with what you say to go with, but I can tell you, I do not believe at this moment that it's not even the Republican Party, the MAGA Party, because that's what it is now. It's no longer the Republican Party; it's the
Okay.
MAGA Party. I do not align with the MAGA Party. Okay, I don't see my values in the MAGA Party.
Okay. So you don't see your values in. I understand that, but we're talking about. You mentioned Medicare, and D'Amica just came back and explained to you that House bill, if you read that House bill 3421, it will probably change your position on that. So how many other your positions are flawed just because you have not done the research, young man?
Well, you can say how many of my positions are flaws, just like I respect your positions. You can respect
Oh no,
my
I
position
respect
as
your
well.
position, but
So what
I
I'm
want you to
saying is
know your position.
the
What I,
majority of the time,
Yes,
okay,
sir.
the majority of the time when we're talking about healthcare, the Republicans have not been fair towards us for healthcare.
Okay.
Okay. And
Okay,
you
let me
know
ask
that.
you a question.
Okay?
So what are
You're
your thoughts
talking
on
about
Project
raising,
What are your
what is it?
thoughts on Project 2025? Because I want to talk about this.
Okay. Yeah.
Give
Project
me your thoughts.
2025, listen, it's a lot of pages. I did read a couple stuff on it.
Okay, go
Okay.
ahead.
From and I haven't had the time to really dip down and figure out what it's about.
Okay,
But based on the snippet, and I'm not gonna base my decision based on the little
okay,
snippet that they find about it.
okay,
Okay, but I don't agree with it in certain
okay,
instances.
okay. Now let me ask you a question, Tamika. What are your thoughts on
yes.
Project 2025?
Honestly, Don, I have not read all of it.
Okay,
I've only read a little bit of it. It's interesting. That's all
okay,
I can tell you. It's
okay.
interesting.
So Johnny, what do you think? What are your thoughts on Obamacare? Since we're talking about healthcare, Johnny,
Oh well,
you think it was
okay.
good?
I, Obamacare.
Yeah.
Well, the release of Obamacare was a little bit shaky. I'll give you that done. It was a little bit shaky.
Okay.
But the way Obamacare is functioning right now, I think our focus should be okay, how to make it better,
Right.
not get rid of it.
Okay.
Okay. A big provision of Obamacare is the pre-existing condition.
Okay.
Okay. Again, I know I got a lot of people who have high blood pressure, diabetes, all kind of stuff. Those are considered pre-existing condition.
Okay.
Okay. So are we gonna pull Obamacare and leave pre-existing condition? Are we gonna pull Obamacare and pull pre-existing condition
Okay.
and be back
So let
where
me
we
ask you a
started?
question. So you
Or are we
support
going to try to
so you
fix it?
support Obamacare, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. And D'Amica, your thoughts on it?
I do think we do need to make something better. I deal with a lot of people that have Obamacare. Um, a lot of doctors don't take it. That's the reality.
Yes.
So
Okay.
I just I don't know how that can be fixed. I
Okay.
don't know how
So
it can be fixed.
so this is my concern, guys. When I hear Johnny talk about Obamacare and point out some good things in it, I know a lot about it, but I don't. I know a lot about it because I had made myself read about it. D'Amica laughed at me. But I also read about Project 2025, and Project 2025 has been around a long ass time. The conversation, the Heritage Institute founded by Mr. Coors back in maybe the early 30s, has been a policy, carving out policy for a long ass time, right? Just as the Brookings Institute carves out liberal policy. But when I hear about Obamacare, to understand where the ACA came from, the ACA, the Affordable Care Act, came out of Governor Mitt Romney's policy chest. He pushed that in Massachusetts when he was a governor, and when he wanted that, he found this Obamacare ACA, the original name of it. Guess who wrote the ACA? Johnny, take a wild guess.
I don't know. You're gonna say Mitt Romney?
The Heritage Institute, the same people who wrote Project 2025. This is why we don't really grow, because we don't really know. And we allow the propagandists to push us into a conversation. The Heritage Institute, the most racist institute the new Negro isn't talking about. Everybody talking about Project 2025, by these racists in the Heritage Institute. There are people saying it's all, but guess who wrote ACA? The same people. So we got to do a little more research and have an understanding and know what a think tank does. I'm not saying you got to align with any of them, but it's so embarrassing when these people take these positions, man. That's a think tank paper. You're right. It means nothing. And thank you,
Right.
Mike. But this is what people don't understand. They write these white papers every week, and
I was
somebody in the
about to
Senate
say, right?
and
I was
somebody in the
about to say,
Congress are
white papers
grabbing them.
are always coming. Yeah, white
Somebody
papers
in
are common, so I don't know why it's getting so much.
most of the policy we
So
read
much.
and we see, this legislative action, somebody wrote that from some think tank. Stop it, guys. Donald Trump ain't put his name on 2025. And go read about the history of the Heritage Institute. Go read about the Brookings Institute. Go read about what the think tanks do before you let somebody make you look bad in a crowded room where you are the only Negro. Stop. It's so embarrassing. If you want to do this, read. Just engage. Here, call me. I'll send you some books. I got books in the car. It's easy to, look, man, seek knowledge, guys. Only. Just seek knowledge. It's so easy to go and get some knowledge. You look at Johnny reading and D'Amica reads and Phil reads, man.
John, because I don't know the next time I'll get a chance to be on the show with you, but can I just say this one last thing before we go to your audience? For people who think that the Democratic Party is presenting some healthy policy as it relates to Medicare and the healthcare system. So as it is right now, if a senior is receiving Medicaid, if they have Medicare and Medicaid, listen to me good, you guys. If they're receiving Medicare and Medicaid, when they hit the income limitation, and the income limitation is very, very low. It's so most people can't live off what the system is requiring them to have in order to get assistance. If they make 1 cent over that limitation, their benefits are pulled away. And at the same time, what we're saying is, okay, but we have an immigration policy right now where we're giving illegal immigrants thousands and thousands of dollars. Right. And they're not working and put into the system that allows those benefits to go to Medicaid. And then the seniors that have worked all their years to pay into the Medicare system, what they're now trying to tell them, the Democratic Party is now telling them, hey, listen, we're going to make Medicare for all. So all the years that you've worked to put into this system so you can draw out for Medicare, we're going to make that go away so that working age people can now take some of your benefits. I'm telling you guys, please go read, because people are telling you something that is not going to be effective.
Phil's got a question. Go ahead, Phil. Go ahead, Johnny. Johnny got a question.
I got a question for Danica. Danica says she's in that field, in the Medicare field.
Yeah.
Danica, would you agree that Medicare is not where it's supposed to be, but we need to revamp it? We need to do something about it to make it better?
Depends on what you say, what revamping Medicare
Revamp it,
means.
make it
so
better,
you need to be
make it better for seniors.
Depends on what you're saying, how to make it better. Do we make it better by giving them access to additional services?
Yes, access to additional services.
See, I'm the type of person, I'm the type of person when it comes to policy, because I'm very practical and because I'm in the implementation of these policies, right? I get to see how it impacts people. So you can't be vague when you say, okay, let's.
But again, real quick,
I need to know specifically how you
go ahead, John. Make it a little bit easier.
Let
me make it a little bit easier then.
Go ahead,
make it clear.
Okay, so if you had the opportunity to revamp Medicare, what would you change? How would you make it better?
How would I make Medicare better? I would say, I don't know how I would make it better. I really don't know, because I've never given it thought, and I'm not just going to give you just a random answer. I'm a thinker.
But what she's saying, Johnny, what she's saying, Johnny, you don't have to have a plan to make it better.
No.
Just because you call it broke.
No.
Okay.
Now,
I can't fix the doorknob at my house, but I know it's broke.
I know it's right.
I know it can't open the door.
And I know what won't work.
Let me get the second question.
The screwdriver.
Before you switch. Now, you mentioned that illegal immigrants are receiving Medicare. Okay, yeah. I know. I deal with people who's been in this country who's trying to get services, and if you're illegal, if you don't have legal paperwork, you cannot get those services.
Hold on,
you witnessed
illegal. Johnny.
No, I'm asking somebody who's in the field. I never have.
I'm had to be in the field. I can tell you this. I got a friend in Chicago with a big ass clinic, and he done shifted all of his business away from the people in that community that showed up for exams to a program where somebody's sending him a check every month. So don't think for 1 minute if you are undocumented, you can't go to the doctor and get your teeth fixed.
No.
Okay?
No.
You can get your teeth fixed quicker than the guy who been trying to get his teeth fixed for 2 years.
Well, I don't know how that happened because if you're undocumented, listen, if you're undocumented,
how do you get an apartment if you're undocumented?
Hold on.
How do you get an apartment?
You can go, okay. If you have an emergency, you can go to the emergency room.
Yeah.
They're not gonna let you die because you undocumented.
But they are getting their teeth fixed.
Okay. I don't know. I don't know anybody who's getting these
Okay.
teeth fixed.
Where the documented people located?
So,
tell me where they located. If they located in Florida, hell no, they ain't gonna get nothing.
Okay. So
okay.
So that's why she's in the field, and I'm asking her, has she witnessed or does she know any cases where illegal aliens actually receive services? That's
Jamaica,
all. Because I didn't have a chance to talk to anybody in the field.
Well, we had tell about our guests, several guests we've had.
Tell who about our
Tell
guests.
Johnny, we've had guests from Chicago and other cities who are out here in the field, who are watching these people go to regular dental and doctor appointments. So don't think that they're not getting benefits. If you think that they're gonna give them $6,000 a month and no benefits, then you come on, man.
So this is how it gets confusing for people. So what he's saying is, okay, I don't see illegal immigrants that are getting the type of services that the people who have Medicare and Medicaid are getting. That's not how it's done. So the illegal immigrants are coming in, and we've already had people confirm that they are giving money. They're giving monies, right? So all you have to do to get any services, because when a doctor is taking a plan from so like say for instance, if I go to see my physician and if I have a plan, that doctor is not going to get all the money. So the government is going to get a portion of that money, and then the physicians get a portion of that money. It's more advantageous to the physician to be able to see someone who can pay them cash. So if those illegal immigrants are getting cash to go to different states to pay for whatever benefit, and they can go and pay cash at clinics for their services, it's better for the doctor.
But real quick before we turn the corner, I'm just telling you, Johnny, these people are living very nice, and they're living nicer than Miss Alberstein and Deacon Elroy. I'm telling you this. These people are coming here living pretty good, Phil. And I get it. You know, it sounds like a talking point, but I know people on the south side of Chicago who got people living fabulous, and they've been in that community for many years. So I get it.
We've had people from Chicago come and talk to us about.
We've had people send us pictures of the debit card receipts from people going to the corner store in Chicago, how much money they got in their accounts. So all I'm saying is this, right? They're getting money. They're getting money that American citizens should be getting. We shouldn't be giving somebody who snuck into this country or came here not the right way. We shouldn't be giving them anything. We definitely, like the state of Minnesota, shouldn't be giving them driver's license, okay, and voter registration cards. So this is the problem. So whatever deficit we have that's based on money, like Medicare, then we're giving money away when we could be blessing our people. And that's my challenge. I don't know how the system, it goes back to how I started the show. The system's broken. I want the guy, even if he fails miserably, I want somebody who says they're going to go up against the system. And this guy's history says he will go up against the system. I don't want somebody who's just going to sit back in the chair and continue the cycle we're dealing with. And that's so important to me that we change that. And I just want people to understand right now, think about this. I'm going to play this clip before we get out of here. Man, thank you, Johnny, man. I really appreciate you. Thank you, D'Amica. I want to play this clip, and I want to ask the question. Why is it okay to pander to black people so outrageously open that is disgusting. And how is it okay for pastors in these black churches to see this in their church and not call bullshit? They had to say bullshit, but they got to say something. I want to play a clip that I think is one of the most egregious split screen clips that I've seen, but it speaks volumes to why the growth in the Negro community is stagnant. Listen to this, guys.
I don't feel no ways tired. I come too far from where I started from. Nobody told me that the road would be easy. I don't believe he brought me this far to leave me.
Weeping may endure for a night, but joy cometh in the morning. The path may seem hard, the work may seem heavy, but joy cometh in the morning. And church morning is on its way.
Okay.
Anybody understand what just happened? Who was offended? Who was offended besides me? Now, let's go to Johnny. Johnny, how'd you feel about that?
I feel indifferent about that. I see a speaker who comes aboarding a group of people. I don't know if his accent is real, accent is fake. You know, they trying to get the black vote, just like when any other candidate is trying to get the black vote. Say, oh, this is my African American right there. They're trying to get the black vote. Now, what I do understand, the black vote is powerful. Okay, if we understand the importance of the black vote, we will come together and have our own platform.
Okay.
And ask what we really want.
D'Amica, go ahead real quick so we wrap up.
I can tell you this. The day I become indifferent to what I saw, please, it's time for me to go. It's time for me to go on to Jesus. It's really time for me to tap. It's time for me to tap out, because for someone to stand in a pulpit who is pushing abortion like never before, like no other candidate, no other campaign has pushed abortion the way this lady is pushing abortion. They promoted free abortion
in Chicago at the convention.
DNC.
Yeah.
Who promotes free abortion?
They had buses.
At a DNC.
Buses
so
outside.
For somebody to be so adamant about child sacrificing, because that's really what it is. We come up with all these pretty names for it, but that's really what it is. So for somebody to be so adamant about abortion and then stand in somebody's pulpit that's supposed to be representing God, to be representing King Jesus, the Lord of Lords, the King of Kings, you're standing in his pulpit, the one that says, I knew you before you were born in your mother's belly, the one that says that in his word, and you push abortion. Come on now.
Phil, get that. Cue that up for me one more time, Phil.
The day I'm indifferent to that, it's time for me to go.
You know, when Johnny, when you say you're indifferent to that, I think it's a cultural thing, because when I watch that, I am offended. And D'Amica's offense to this is different than mine. I totally agree with her. But again, D'Amica's like, how are these pastors allowing these people? The lady who praised Margaret Sanger, Hillary Clinton, praised her, right? Loves her. If you don't know who she is, go Google her name, okay? Devout racist, eugenicist. Let me just say this real quick. So to be indifferent, and my problem was not because of what D'Amica said that was legitimate, when I watched the level of disrespect in that cadence speaking, and then I watched Vice President Harris the other day. She's sitting in church, and they say, I'm going to say this with everybody in the studio, see if y'all keep up with me on this one. The pastor said, God is good. And what do we say? All the time. And then he says, right? God is good all the time. All the time, God is good, right? So in church, they say, God is good. And she say, God is good. Stop. What are we doing?
listen, if you don't go to church,
but guess what? Then don't tell
But
her
she was
you
in the
do.
pulpit as
Yeah.
if she was.
Phil, did you grow up in church, Phil?
Yeah.
Everybody can go in the pulpit. Remember? You get up when we used to play in church on the pews. You go up in the pulpit, you're getting whooped.
Yep.
Okay, I'm saying, but that's who we are. That's who we've become. If somebody tell us something, even we're looking at it, the level of cognitive dissonance is strangely peculiar to me, because when you look at, play that clip one more time before I tell everybody bye. I got to see this.
I don't feel no ways tired. I come too far from where I started from. Nobody told me that the road would be easy. I don't believe he brought me this far to leave me.
Weeping may endure for a night, but joy cometh in the morning. The path may seem hard, the work may seem heavy, but joy cometh in the morning. And
Phil. Tell me your thoughts real quick, Phil.
It's a caricature, man.
But it's wrong, Phil.
Yeah, it's phony.
It's
Y'all don't
phony.
get enough for playing with Jesus if you want to.
Yeah, and
I'm
young
not
man,
playing with him like
hey,
that.
young man, you can't be indifferent. Don't tell nobody else you indifferent on that.
Listen.
Just say I don't know what to say.
I don't.
Just say I don't know what to say. That ain't my
Listen,
culture.
I don't preach.
But somebody came up there.
What I'm saying,
I'm not a
reason I'm
preacher
indifferent.
either.
What I'm saying.
If I
I'm
use
saying
my fake
somebody's
Haitian,
talking-
if I use my fake Haitian accent right now, you probably would be offended.
No.
If I speak my broken Creole to the masses
ahead,
and tell
go ahead.
people that
Go
I have a
ahead.
personal relationship with the Haitian
Go ahead.
community, right? No, but I think disingenuous is wrong.
Kamala Harris, though, she's black. What you mean special relationship? You talking about Clinton? Or
Oh,
you
she's
talking
black?
about-
So
Yeah.
Kamala Harris is black?
Yeah, she's black. Her father is Jamaican.
Oh, okay. So you don't read much.
What? Her
He's
father is
Jamaican.
not
He's Jamaican
Jamaican?
black? He's Jamaican black?
I don't know. I don't
Right.
have a
You
picture of
don't
her father.
know. You don't
Okay.
know. Okay,
She
go read
she
it.
Been identified as a black person. She's
So
black.
because she's identified, I
black.
identify as a 1974 Buick Regal. Does that make me a
Congratulations.
1974 Buick Regal? But you, if you just accept somebody's identification, then you are right in the party you belong, because you
So if
you
I
are
come to you
okay.
right now-
You are
so
okay.
you would be-
You're okay
So-
with boys running against girls. You okay with boys in girl sports? Yes.
What you mean, boys against girls? What you mean
You
by
okay with boys identifying as girls and competing against girls in sports? Are you?
that? No, I don't accept boys compete with girls in sport.
Oh, really? Okay. All right. What's your thoughts on transgender?
And transgender, I think everybody got the right to do whatever they want to do. If somebody
So, what's
wanna
your thoughts
identify as
about
a
transgendering
In
young
sports.
kids?
In sports.
What you mean transgendering young kids? Like make young kids become transgender?
Yeah.
Yes, allowing kids underage to go through that transformation.
I don't know any kids underage who went to a a transformation, but I can tell you, if a grown up decide to be a transgender, that's them. They can be a transgender.
Okay.
That's them. If they want to identify as gay, that's them. Okay.
Yeah,
But
so
when
you're
you're
so
talking
you're not
about when
aware
you're
of
talking
the
about
so you're
when
not
you're talking
aware of the
about the
policies.
aspect when you're talking about the
policies
aspect,
that are allowing kids to go through that process without parental consent. Is that what you're saying?
I haven't
Because
seen
those are
any
some of the
policy.
policies that's being pushed right now through the
I
Democratic
haven't seen
Party.
any policy where kids
They
is
are
allowed to
they
go through that
exist. Yes, sir.
Well, thank
It
you
seems
so
like
much.
there's a
Send
lot of
one my way.
policies.
Thank you
Send
so
one my
much.
way because I haven't seen any
Okay, I'll
policy
send-
where it can get a transgender operation.
Okay.
without
Okay.
the
Well,
parents'
you haven't been
consent.
reading, young man. Let me just say something. I want to say this. Frederick Douglass said it brilliantly. Knowledge makes a man unfit to be a slave. So I want everybody to go seek knowledge, man. Try to grow, because you can't grow if you don't
I
know.
do not believe I'm a slave. I've never been a
No,
slave.
I'm
and
not.
I've been-
I'm not
and
talking to
my-
you.
my
That's a quote. I
ancestors were the
always end
first
with a
one to
quote.
free themselves.
I always.
Okay, my
okay,
ancestors
yeah.
was the first independent black country in this world. So
And they freed themselves.
I've never that.
And
That's
now they
right.
find themselves in bondage at the end. Thank you so
And
much, Johnny, for
yeah,
joining us.
They find themselves
D'Amica
in
Page.
bondage
Thank you so much. D'Amica Page, thank you so much. Appreciate you.
Bye, Don.
Don Miller's terrible. Thank you so much, y'all. Thanks for listening. Next Thursday night right here, the podcast doctor, my friend. I love you, bro. Also, the Don Miller Show. Follow us, subscribe and like. Tell everybody to subscribe and like. Follow me on Instagram, okay? Please follow me on Instagram. Follow me on all social media platforms. Just Google Don Miller Show, The Don Miller Show, Don Miller. I don't know where y'all going, but I'm getting ready to smoke one. I'm getting ready to smoke a really good cigar.
Me too.
Bye-bye, everybody.